Have you ever had one of those conversations with somebody and you've thought to yourself, do you know what? I used fantastic vocabulary and my grammar was absolutely spot on, but I just didn't seem to connect with that person and I don't know why. Now, since coming back from Hong Kong to the UK a couple of years ago, I think I've finally worked out the reason for this. And it really boils down to small language habits. And it doesn't matter how good our language is. We might not be particularly competent in English. We might be exceptional in English. But if we are able to adopt certain little language habits, then we are far more likely to be able to connect with the other person. And in this video, I'd like to take you through some of those simple language habits that us native speakers adopt every single day to allow us to connect much more easily to others when using English. The first language habit is to make people feel comfortable. Now, if somebody is feeling relaxed when they are talking to me, we are much more likely to strike up a connection than we otherwise would. And some of the language, for example, that I would use that a lot of people would consider to be indirect would be, rather than saying, I need this, I would say, would it be possible? Rather than saying something like, give me, I would say, could I possibly? And more importantly, when I disagree, I wouldn't directly say I disagree as a cold brick wall type of a statement. I would say something along the lines of, I see your point, but could we possibly consider? And you can probably feel there is an undertone of respect, which is running through all of this language. And that is really lying at the heart of it. So I'm trying to say to the other person, we might have a disagreement, or I might want something, but I need to show you a level of respect. And if they can see that I'm showing them a level of respect, then they will automatically relax, they will feel more comfortable, and they will be far more likely to connect and engage further with me. Be curious. One thing that I have noticed about really genuine, warm conversations is that the other person that you are talking to is really genuinely interested in you, and they will ask a lot of little questions to show that they are interested in what you are saying. So a few days ago, I spoke to an older gentleman for the very first time, and I really wanted him to like me, because you think to yourself when you're speaking to someone, meeting someone for the first time, you want to set a good impression, you want them to like you. So I was deliberately curious about what he was saying to me. Whenever I had the opportunity, I would interject with a small question. Nothing too intrusive, and I didn't want it to sound like an interrogation, so I let him talk. And when the opportunity presented itself, I would interject with a little question, which showed that I was interested in what he was saying to me, and it naturally moved the conversation forward. And I used how, what, why, where, and when type questions. So questions which started with those words. So for example, what led you to that conclusion? Or why did you make that decision? Or who were you with? Or where did you go? Or when did that happen? You can very quickly and easily think of questions which are on topic, which start with those words. Warm people tend to build upon what other people are saying. So my advice here would be not to try and kill a conversation too soon. Conversations are killed with the use of words like yes, no, or okay. If you find yourself going to use one of these words, pinch yourself and try to move away from that. So if you're going to say yes because. Or if you're going to say no because. And that will lead you into an explanation of the reasons why you think something, and naturally start elongating the topic of conversation. If you're really struggling, you can then try to relate what the other person is saying to your own experience. So you can say something along the lines of, that reminds me of, and then relate it back to your own experience. Now, if you find yourself wanting to say okay, maybe think about what the last person has just said to you, and then see if maybe comments like, that's an interesting point, or I hadn't thought about it like that. See if those comments are suitable and slot them in if at all possible. One thing you really cannot ignore if you spend any time in the UK at all is the amount of times people will thank each other. And also the amount of times people will apologize to each other for things that they're not even responsible for doing in the first place. And having thought about this quite a lot, it is not just a question of being polite, it is far deeper than that. It is really a signal to other people to say, look, we are sharing the same space together. Let's just respect each other within that space. And let's just try to reduce any potential friction between each other so we are able to live a smooth and happy life together within this shared environment. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with someone over a cup of coffee in a cafe. And funnily enough, I cannot really remember what they were saying to me, but I do remember how they made me feel. And I felt very comfortable in this person's presence and I felt listened to. And they weren't using impressive language, I recall. They were just using quite bulk standard English expressions. The most encouraging thing is that being able to be liked when using English is most definitely a skill that can be learned. It is just a question of practicing some of the habits which I have outlined previously in the video. If you would like to listen to some more of my language and British cultural tips, please consider subscribing. If there are any questions which you would like to ask me, please drop me a comment in the section below and I'll get back to you straight away. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the next one.